Alright guys, just playing a quick first island auto match. The match since at 9:30 German time I will be attending a lecture about food photography, which I'm quite interested in. So, Cities&Knights first island, check. Let's do 3 players, goes a little quicker, I guess. So, Cities&Knights differs actually, I think, in many respects from the ground game. And one of the main things, believe it or not, even though the extension is called Cities&Knights, obviously, is that I think wood and brick are actually more valuable in Cities&Knights than they are in the base game. One main reason for that being that you need 13 points to win. So a pure or the cheap strategy that works quite often in the ground game just doesn't get you there in Cities&Knights. And the other aspect being that paper, that commodity that arises from wood, is actually the most valuable of the 3 commodities out there. Yeah, so I want my city to be, well, not that easy. You need grain. Grain is still the most important product, just like it is in the base game as well, actually. But it's not an easy choice, this one. For me at least, so maybe for you it's obvious watching at home. Because the grain is really bad. I hate playing horrible grain. Absolutely hate it. But the unfortunate truth is I might have no choice but to do these 2 options. Yeah, that 6 wood is very valuable. My main issue being, of course, terrible grain. I'm not so worried so much about ore, even though the game is called Cities&Knights. Again, ore is, I won't say it's invaluable, but ore in Cities&Knights is needed at the beginning, and then it's not needed for a very long time. Let me say it that way. So where might the others go? If I were purple, I would quite easily opt for this 5, 9, 10 down here, because it brings you tons of sheep, which you probably won't need, but it also brings you 3 different tiles that yield a commodity, which is very valuable. Yes, it's the correct pick, and for that's not the very obvious pick, but okay. Okay, maybe it might work, but I'm skeptical of red's choice here. I would have gone for a safer bet like the 8-5-10 up here. Yeah, definitely the 8-5-10 for red. Why not? I do have quite good road building material, so I'm not too worried about losing the race for this 4-9-11 spot. Although I might be thinking of cutting back to the 5-8-10, or the 5-8-3, which of course both are better spots, but that opportunity just vanished. I should have seen that coming. So what do I want to do first? Do I really? I need better grain. Yeah, I must do this for that spot. Simply because my wheat access is so horrible. Now, do you actually say wheat or grain? I'm not. I've heard both variants frequently in English. But I've heard both variants in German too, to be honest. So many of our German friends say something like "hey" instead of grain. And in case you were wondering, my personal assistant just dropped something heavy on the floor. Yeah, so interestingly, this far nobody has had a grain. So I would actually be quite okay if we all lose our city, because I'm in the worst position to save mine, to be honest. So I need like 2 5s to 4 for 1 bricks for the missing grain, and that is not going to happen in time. That is not good. And 1 player left the game. I mean, free. So I get my grain. Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about strategy, but in this case I might have to quit this one if the players are starting to quit again. Which seems to be an increasing issue on Catan Universe. Which is unfortunate, because I'm not disfavorable of the new design actually. But if they don't manage that problem accordingly in the nearby future, then they will lose their members, and you can't be sorry for them either. So now I can choose where to build my knight, and well, the 5 isn't going to get blocked much, I guess. It's mostly going to be the 6 anyway that's going to get blocked, but that 4 wheat might get blocked, and I want to build on it, so I will go here. And in general, if you're in doubt where to place your knight, placing it next to your city is often a better bet, because yeah, getting blocked on the city hurts way more than getting blocked on the settlement. That's just the nature of the game. So we all managed our active knight in time, which is kind of a miracle. Now he gets a blue card. That's a little unfortunate, because I don't like blue cards in general, because they are played against me between 95 and 98% of the times. But I managed my first paper, which of course is very welcome. Yeah, I need to build a city. I need to build a city wall next. Hope I don't have it out on this turn, obviously, as well. But actually, I do sort of fancy my position. Another blue card. That's not good, but now I can of course do something better by 4-for-1ing that brick. But first of all, let's ask if somebody wants to give me the cheaply. I don't want the 4-for-1 if it's not absolutely necessary, and purple does it, which is nice, because then can build a settlement, and I need a city wall, and of course I need to buy my first science extension. And I get my first sheep for the night, which is nice, but I mainly built there for that for grain, not for the sheep. I wasn't worried about sheep. Yeah, so here it's got 2 blue cards in hand. That's going to hurt, I imagine. So the thing is, I'm thinking about picking a yellow card, because the most frequent yellow card is a trader, and I could really use a trader on bricks at the moment. But I will go for a green one, which is the most natural pick. But it's actually not always that clear, and especially with 4 players, you might opt for a blue one as well. And by the way, if I might give you one hint, never opt for a green card if you are not on either or wheat, because the mining and irrigation cards will become utterly useless for you. And usually the smith isn't that great either. So there are too many invaluable green cards if you're not on both ore and wheat. He has 15 cards in hand. He must have a road and a settlement, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be a really nice turn for him, unfortunately. Well, he can afford to 4-for-1 and build a really nice city, which should get blocked, but I can't block it, and I don't have a grain to activate my knight, which is pretty sad, but I knew this was going to be a difficult resource for me to get. And I get the inventor, which of course I will instant use to get rid of my 3 grain and get rid of his 9 grain as well, which is way too good for him. I mean, this is like an instant no-brainer. Especially since purple is basically my only competitor at the moment. The AIs in this game play really terribly, unfortunately, I have to admit. I mean, so I'm going to devalue this one anyway. So, yeah, let's block it regardless. Yeah, let's block it regardless. Or and inventor that night away. So I do have a city wall, which is very useful, but I can also build a road, and I need to go to the brickport, obviously. That was the other main priority I had from the start. That, of course, also a main reason for me settling on this 8 was the access to the brickport. Oh, I get a road building card in hand. That gives me a few unthought options, like somehow stealing this spot away from him by building to the 583 and settling there. Settling there, I know it's a wet dream that probably won't come to fruition. But hey, a man can dream, right? 6. So I have 2 paper, which is very good. And yeah, I need. Well, I can at least ask for a grain. I know there's one grain out there, but no, not going to happen. Oh no, that just used to be my grain. Or for break. No, not really interested. That's a typical AI move. Building a road that leads to nowhere and that basically asks to be blocked. That's why the AIs in this game are. Well, I think they are a welcome addition in some sense that you can finish a game that you're in when one person leaves for whatever reason, but it's for nothing more than just to finish it. Ouch. Yeah, now he's going to probably trade for paper and get his paper advantage, which should put him over the top. Oh no, he built a settlement, which is also a very nice settlement. So yeah, I do get a grade via the 4. And he doesn't have his paper advantage just yet. But this is looking pretty grim. Let me just activate that light. That's a nice throw. I needed that desperately. Or for brick. You know what, AI, let's do that so I can 4 for 1 the ore for grain. Because I'm not interested yet in building a city, I think. And I really, really need that brickport to get the game going. And I do have 9 cards, which is nice because I have a city wall. Ah, welcome, there's two people watching. Okay. So I do get an alchemy card, which is pretty welcome as well. Maybe I will just use it to chase the robber away, which is actually what alchemy cards do most of the time. But yeah, I can't afford to like steal from him twice. I would like to, but I don't have enough grain to do that maneuver. And I will choose the 7 this way because if I choose a 3, then he has 3 outcomes for a development card, and I have just 1. That's not worth it. So let's chase the robber away and move to. Let's move again to his grain. I mean, grain is his weak spot if he has any. And I get a coin, which is very nice because it's always very valuable to get all 3 colors going in the game. I can't use my road building at the moment, no. And we roll the 5. Oh, I need to watch out what he has because I have a monopoly. So he just got a brick, but he will use that probably. He's going to alchemy. For a 6, so he can get his green advantage. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense on his part. So, with the green advantage in hand, it's getting increasingly grim. But well, not always lost, I guess. I mean, he doesn't have a trader, or he does have a trader. So he trades 2 wood for a paper, I imagine? No, he doesn't. Well, he definitely has sheep, a lot of sheep in hand. And of course I 7 out, I mean, that was pretty predictable. Well, I couldn't have prevented that either because I have only 1 city. So I couldn't build a 2nd wall anyway. I could monopoly like wood, but not really useful at the moment. I do basically want to monopoly brick to get the green advantage. That's what I will probably have to do to the wood array. And yeah, steal from him. Oh, I get the paper directly. That's a nice gesture. Thank you. So I don't need to use my monopoly on that one, and I don't want to use it right now. Knowing that I would steal a paper, I would of course kept the sheep and prevented him from getting the victory points. But well, can't have everything. And it's very important that I keep him from getting that green advantage, because with that, the game is completely done for, I'm afraid. Without it, I might have a chance. So one thing I'm thinking about is like cutting through the ranks here. I need a wood, but that I can monopolize. Well, maybe I steal it directly and don't need my monopoly anymore. And that mining gives me a city, which is of course very welcome. Oh, alright, I don't have an active knight, so there's no point in going around. Does he have a wood? I'm not sure actually, because I think he might have traded it. And there has been only 111. It's a little bit too risky, and it doesn't yield that much either. So let me just build a city. This is way more valuable at the moment. Maybe I should have gone for wood, but now at least red has a wood, so now I can monopolize wood. If nothing else, he gets the yellow advantage. Okay, that one he may have. I'm concerned about him getting the green, but everything else I'm perfectly fine with. Although I of course needed settlements. I don't have it out just yet. And he maxes out on development cards, which is nice. He probably has multiple trainers in hand, I imagine. But I can steal one wood at least from red. Maybe one for purple, but I should really keep better account of what everyone has. It's a brick. How many politics cards does he actually have? No, he doesn't have a politics card, so he can't have a diplomat. Which is, or a turncoat, both would be worrisome. Yeah, I monopolize wood. I mean, I need to do something, right? 2 wood, okay. And I can trade. Yeah, I can do both, which is very nice. Or I can build up there, which is probably even nicer. Let me go for the 8-3 up. Oh no. I'm not going for the 8-3 since I get a product of free choice on 3 anyway. But I will use my road building to cut right through. That's nice. And the 12 is also nice because I'm the only one on the green advantage, so I get to choose. And yeah, it's obviously going to be a grain on this board. Now I'm definitely back in business. My voice recognition software actually blocks the sight of how many points I have, so I do have 7 points. I could have just counted that thing, but I'm a lazy motherfucker, you know. I don't like to actually do work like counting points. Well, I don't have to. On the real board, of course, I have to count. which actually is no big deal whatsoever. Yeah, I can't fall for one, but maybe I need this port next, because all of a sudden I'm quite good on grain, believe it or not. Because of the inventor also, of course, earlier in the game. Should I build another active knight? No, I want a settlement, not a knight. 3, that's a product of choice, which will be wood, because I produce more brick than wood. He inventors, okay, my sheep, I wasn't too worried about sheep, to be brutally honest. And I get my brick naturally, which is what I suspected would happen. So now I would really want to build here actually first. Because I have an irrigation which would bring me an awful lot of grain which I need to trade 2-to-1. But I would also like to build here because it gives me access to another retail and of course improves the irrigation itself. So he's moving the trader within his own ranks. But he still hasn't managed that green advantage yet. I think that costs him. And this costs me, of course. I mean, I don't know when was the last time I actually had too many cards in hand and didn't 7 out. I think that must have been like last year somewhere. Now once I keep one sheep because sheep is not so great. Oh well. Yeah, I can do away with the grain because of the irrigation. But I will keep one more sheep because I'm not that big on sheep anymore. And well, now I can just start playing these games with him. Yeah. Because now I'm good enough on grain to do that. Stuff. Okay, that's nice because we wanted to build a metropolis, obviously. And I can activate my knight without using my irrigation. Which I don't want to use unless it's absolutely necessary. Because I first want to build on the grain port. I'm also just one road away from longest road. So thinking about wind conditions. Longest road, green metropolis. And then just build one more settlement, I guess. I'm not counting on the train or stuff like that. That's way too sketchy. That's too sketchy to build an entire strategy upon. I mean, it's nice if I get a trainer, then I would win pretty much instantly. Depending on what rolls, I guess, but I think a 5 or an 8 plus a trainer would be win, but that's not something we fantasize an awful lot about. But yeah, my chances are pretty solid. Of course, I'm nowhere near competing on knights, so on knights he will probably win. I'm also not too worried about him, about red jumping into that spot. I mean, I can always upgrade and chase him away. And oh my god. I mean, this is getting close to victory. This is getting stupidly close to victory. That should be it, right? Or am I... Or am I completely dead if I do this, then do this, then do this, get the longest road, and yeah, of course it is. Then I trade free wood and free grain for one ore and one paper. Build a metropolis. And build a city. Okay, I think I might be just in time for my lecture. So this was actually a nice game as soon as I got to that brick port. I mean that brick port really was essential, but I of course saw that immediately that I could expand there, and yeah. Otherwise, that settlement pick wouldn't have been any good. Alright, guys. Yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I will go to my lecture now. See you later. Bye.